Shirt like the ones you see right here. Prices go up on May 1st.
We are here for the children. We're standing for them, and we will continue doing so.
Now on Denver 7 News at 8, I am on Local 3. A troubled Colorado school district gets a second shot at success. The hoops Adams 14 will have to jump through this time around.
Plus, Amazon is promising safety improvements after Denver 7 obtained a report showing a high rate of injuries at local warehouses.
And traditions are returning after a pandemic pause. We'll tell you where you can celebrate Easter with an in-person sunrise service this weekend. Happy Friday. We made it, and looking ahead to the Easter weekend, we're going to see some pretty nice weather out there, Lisa.
It's going to get gorgeous. Yeah, It's pretty right now. It's on the warm side, too. When you take a look at our current temperatures, already in the upper 40s to low 50s. Sunny skies here across the eastern plains. There is still some cloud cover and some light snow falling in the northern and central mountains. So it's going to be a little slick in the high country. Right now, though, take a look at some of these numbers. Centennial 49, Aurora currently 46. You're at 50 already there in Broomfield and in Arvada, 53 in Lakewood. So some nice and warm conditions. Your fresh air forecast warms up pretty early on. We're going to be at right around 60 degrees by lunchtime, and then we'll tack on another 5 to 7 degrees. So mid to upper 60s from Denver to Greeley, 70s to the southeast, 40s and 50s in the mountains today, but the high country will see a little bit more snow. Right now the winds are about 10 to 15 miles per hour. We're again going to see wind gusts today at about 35 miles per hour. It's kind of getting annoying, these winds, I'm not going to lie, but this time of year, it's what happens when we get these fronts, a series of fronts rolling through.
Yeah, it's keeping the painters off of my house and because it's been too windy to get up on a ladder. You can see some of the winds blowing snow around up on I-70 here at the Eisenhower-Johnson tunnels. It's sloppy on I-70 right now. Obviously more snowy where there's less traffic, like at the ski area at Loveland, so we're seeing some sloppy conditions at the higher elevations. Take a look at the drive here in town. You still have a lot of traffic across downtown. You can see it's about a 20-minute drive from I-70 down to this crash you can see from the camera at Alameda. That's all the way over to the right side. So still a little bit of activity over here with some of the flashing lights, but folks are able to get through there. It's in okay shape. One crash out in Wheat Ridge out to the west side of town, southbound on Wadsworth at 32nd Avenue. So that's going to slow you down a little bit trying to get there past the cemetery. But the rest of the drive looks pretty standard for you up to the north and to the south side.
Well, after years of poor performance, the State Board of Education is giving the Adams 14 school district one more chance to make improvements. It has less than a month to come up with a management plan. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta joins us with the details. And Veronica, the district will have to partner with an outside company.
It will, and the good news is that the Colorado Board of Education won't be closing Adams City High School. It'll also be giving the district a second chance, but of course there are some conditions that the district has to follow, and one of them is hiring that outside management firm to help them come up with what they're calling an improvement plan. So that improvement plan, it has to be submitted by Adams 14 in time for the next meeting. That next meeting is scheduled for May 11th. Now, if the board doesn't accept the plan, then that could mean the district gets fully taken over by that outside management firm. Despite that, district officials say they're up for what's next. They are up for that challenge and ready to create the plan. Parents we spoke with said they were relieved and thrilled the high school wasn't closed and the district was being given that second chance. Of course, this is all for the sake of those students.
I'm thinking as a parent, where's my son going to go? I have a junior and a sophomore. My whole dream is planning their graduation. My whole dream is planning the rest of their future.
And part of this agreement also means that the district has to give quarterly updates on how this improvement plan is working for its students. We're live in Denver this morning. I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Thank you, Veronica. Former Douglas County Superintendent Corey Wise is speaking publicly for the first time since he was fired. Wise is now filing a discrimination complaint against the district. In February, the board's majority voted to fire Wise without cause in a 4-3 vote before the end of his contract. They say they voted him out simply because they wanted to take the district in a different direction. However, Wise claims it was because of his advocacy for protected groups like LGBT students and students of color.
I think the four have put themselves and the school district and the community in a tough situation, and their actions I'm disappointed in. You have dreams and you've accomplished some of those dreams, but you want to give a chance to see what we can continue to do, and when that's taken away, you're upside down. For the first time, you don't have a job. It's taken us backwards in trust, and I worry about the future.
We reached out to the school district for a response to the complaint. It had no comment. Cherry Creek Schools has hired Wise to be interim assistant superintendent.
A judge is dismissing parts of a defamation lawsuit filed by Denver School Board Vice President Tay Anderson. Anderson filed the lawsuit against Black Lives Matter 5280 and a parent last year after an independent investigation found sexual assault allegations against Anderson were unsubstantiated. The Denver Post reports a Denver district judge is dismissing parts of Anderson's lawsuit that were protected speech and parts that Anderson would not be able to prove were made with malice. Anderson's attorney tells Denver 7 they plan to appeal.
At 1:30 this afternoon, we'll get an update on the competency status of the accused Boulder King super shooter. The man accused of killing 10 people last March was found incompetent to stand trial twice. He's been getting treatment at the state mental health hospital in Pueblo. We'll be in court later today and update you on thedenverchannel.com. Earlier this week, Congressman Joe Neguse announced 4 new bills aimed at preventing mass shootings and increasing help for the shooting victims. The Help for Healing Communities Act would provide mental health services to victims of a mass shooting. The Stop Violence Act would provide federal funds for added security at places of previous mass shootings. Another act would prioritize assistance to victims of gun violence and their families. And the 4th bill would expand worker safety and guide a study of threats of violence in the workplace.
Today, the group tasked with monitoring the Aurora Police Department will finalize its community committee and its duties. IntegraSure has already created a website to help you follow the progress. It's auroramonitor.org. The group is holding its first public town hall on Tuesday to talk about the path forward. It's at 7:30 p.m. at the Aurora Municipal Center, or you can also sign up to watch virtually. The group that uncovered a critical backlog of unprocessed police reports in Aurora says progress has been made. PRI management initially found more than 2,500 reports concerning everything from murder to carjacking cases still in the queue waiting to be cleared. Tonight, Aurora is down to a little more than 400 reports. As for what the backlog says about Aurora crime or the department charged with addressing it, PRA had this to say.
We did not state that as a result of the backlogs in the record section, criminals are out running free. PRI did not state that all of the backlog cases were not being investigated. What we did say, and I quote the report, quote, as a result of the delays in processing police reports, violent crimes reported to the police department may not, and I emphasize, may not be investigated for months, enabling suspects who might, and I emphasize might, otherwise have been investigated and taken into custody to reoffend.
PRI found a number of factors contributing to the backlog. Notably, Aurora did not seem to be documenting what employees working from home were actually doing.
A Wheat Ridge police officer is out of the hospital. Officer Alan Fisher received a well-deserved round of applause from fellow officers and hospital staff as he was wheeled out. Fisher was stabbed multiple times Wednesday morning while responding to a call about a suspicious U-Haul at an RV park. The man accused of attacking him has been charged with attempted murder. Fisher's recovery will take some time, but the department says he's in good spirits.
The CEO of Amazon is vowing to improve safety at the company's warehouses. In a letter to shareholders, Andy Jassy wrote, Amazon is passionate about further improving safety in our fulfillment network with a focus on reducing strains, sprains, falls, and repetitive stress injuries. Jassy's letter comes ahead of 2 shareholder votes next month tied to workplace injuries. One calls for an independent audit into working conditions and employee treatment. The other will assess where Amazon policies create disparities in the company's rate of workplace injuries. Last fall, local Amazon employees raised concerns to Denver 7 investigative reporter Jennifer Kovaleski about a lack of training and demands on them that created serious safety concerns. An OSHA report obtained by Denver 7 showed a high rate of injuries at Colorado warehouses, including 260 injuries at the Thornton location in 2020 alone.
Next, and all new at this hour, a popular Metro amusement park is facing a new lawsuit. The customer's claims, and we're looking into the ride's history.
And Colorado is busy, for most of us think it is, but a state campaign could bring even more tourists here. Plus,
And I'm Colette Bordelon live here at Red Rocks this morning where people are working out, doing some high knees this morning. We've got dogs working out, taking a little break. But this weekend, this venue going to be packed for Easter Sunday. I have all the details and what you need to know ahead of this weekend.